What's up everybody? Today on TK Driven, we're going to completely detail the paint on this awesome 5.0 Mustang. Let's check out this incredible 5.0 Mustang here. He's got it almost completely restored and it sounds rowdy when it's on. I could hear him pulling up no problem. Got some ET Street tires. Paint's in decent shape. There's a couple places here we won't be able to fix on the back, but for the most part this black paint is going to be amazing. There's some heavy swirling up here on the hood. I don't know if I'll be able to film it out here in these clouds or not. Let's try. It's hard to tell if you can see it in the camera or not, but there's some scratches running this way, and there's not much reflectance as far as like seeing your face. So we're going to do the full process again like we did for Josh's S2000. We got some Dawn to strip everything down. I'm going to clay the car, rewash it, and get to polishing. I don't know if there's going to be a whole lot of compounding on this car. There's no oxidation that I've seen so far. I think this is going to be a really fun job. I also want to show you this engine. Check this out. This is rowdy. I don't know all the specs. I'll get him to text me some specs if he wants to, and I'll put them in the description, but it sounds so healthy pulling up. I think he said it was over 600 horse. So nice. It's completely redone. Let's get the outside looking as cool as this engine. Let's foam cannon this black beauty with some Dawn to strip off any residual waxes or anything. Hey, this paint is really smooth. I don't feel any sandpaperiness at all. It feels almost like this back glass. The hood feels the same. That's good and slick. I'd say clay in this car is going to be a piece of cake. Something else I like to do, everybody. I got a wash mitt that goes down to about the bottom 2/3 or 3/4 of the car, and it never goes any lower. And then I have a different mitt that washes the very bottom of the car. So I'll go back and wash all along down here with a different mitt that never touches anything above that, because that's where all the real nasty stuff is, and you don't want to spread it to the rest of the paint. I just noticed this car doesn't have any windshield wipers. Talk about a show car. Here's that mitt I was talking about. So this one never goes above this bottom area here. And obviously the new mitts become these mitts as they get older, and then you just keep working your way down. Buy a new mitt and work your way down. Same thing with microfiber towels or anything else, really. Another tip, I don't know if I mentioned in the S2K video, these nozzles, if you're using a pressure washer, when I first bought this pressure washer, I didn't have this seated correctly, I aimed it at one of the RX-7s and shot that out. Hit the car, made a little tiny scratch. So now you'll see me foam cannon or these pieces or anything. When I first turn the gun on, I'm pointed at the ground, just in case this guy's not seated right. You'll know it'll shoot out and hit the concrete instead of the car. Little tip. All right, let's clay this beautiful black car here. Got a brand new clay bar, some detailer to keep it good and lubed up. Careful there, Steve. Like I said, this car feels smooth as glass, so I suspect this is going to be an easy clay job. Oh yeah, it's smooth. Not a whole lot of contaminants on this black car. Given that he doesn't have any windshield wipers, I suspect this car is very well taken care of. You guys can clay glass. Heck, I think his windshield feels grainier than his paint. The clay bar is not even getting very dirty. A couple bugs on the front is the only thing I've been able to find. Definitely a well taken care of paint. This paint has some wrinkles in it, and he was telling me that these plastic bumpers are famous for this on these 5.0s, and they just get kind of where they can move too much for the paint to adhere and they end up wrinkling. And you can actually feel and see literally like wrinkles in the paint. So we're going to be careful claying this and very careful polishing it. May not polish these because it looks to me like you could grab one of these ridges and just start with a runner and remove the paint. So we're going to be extra careful back here. These bottom rockers on both sides is the only place I've really been able to find anything to remove. That's the only place that's even got the clay dirty, really. The bottom rocker panels on driver and passenger doors.
Hey, I'm not safe in this place, in this state of mind. One day I'm fine, the next day I feel like I'm walking blind. Okay, my life is whack, I'm in a place where I can't relax. All this pressure on my mind is getting hard for me to stay intact. Like, whoa, I don't know, I go far, but I'm not close. I get up, then I feel low. All this time spent trying to grow. My whole lifestyle's put in rows, and I ride too fast, but I think too slow. And I lost my mind as I've been all alone, trying to find a place where I belong. Like, I was lost, but now I'm found.
Let's go ahead and get the car dried off and pull it into the garage, and we'll start the real fun part of polishing. I'm not seeing anywhere that is really going to need much compounding. Maybe we'll see more under the fluorescent lights, but out here this looks like a polish only job, unless there's some deep swirls that I haven't seen in the fluorescence yet. So let's dry it off. This is a Meguiars, I think they call it magic drying. I can't remember for sure. I'll try to put a link in the description. These work just as well as those Sonus waffle weaves. Maybe even a little bit better. They seem to really love the water. They soak it up and get it moving really quickly. Luckily today, it's overcast and I've not needed to get out the canopy. Black cars are really difficult to do in any kind of sunlight. These clouds would have broke when we were drying. I would have had to immediately just get it in the garage. They dry so fast and they show everything, which is also the reason they turn out so well. They end up like mirrors and you can just see everything. But it makes it very difficult to work on. This car has a lot of little nooks and crannies that hold water. All right, the car's dried off. Let's get it pulled in the garage and put some polish to it. You guys got to hear this thing. Sounds so healthy, doesn't it? You guys got to see this too. This might be my favorite thing about the whole car. It's Pennywise. It's it. And it looks awesome. I'm gonna have to get me one of these. That's incredible. The whole car is just completely well sorted. Got the beast pulled in, dried off. Got the new shop lights on. If you guys haven't seen that video, definitely check it out. These are super cheap on Amazon and they make a world of difference in here. I've got some above the garage door also, but we won't need them with the door open today. So let's check out under the fluorescents and see if we can find anything to show. Yeah, there we go. Now you can see. There's some swirls. A couple little things there. Yep, so those are those streaks I was describing. Very hard to film outside, but I think you can see them pretty good here. Paint is good and clean though. No oxidation that I can find. You can see the swirls there. Oh, this is exciting. Black might be the hardest color to work on, but it's also my favorite because the results are just so cool. There's my black beauty hiding over there. Raven. You can only see the swirls in the fluorescence really. There's a little bit right there you can tell. The fluorescents really show you though. There you go. Yeah. So that's just what happens as you wash a car over the years. We're going to try to fix all of that. Nothing really noteworthy other than those wrinkles I was talking about. Let's check those out. Now you can really see them. He said that was because the plastic bumpers on these are too flexible for the paint, and it's a really common occurrence. So I won't be able to do anything to that. Have to be very delicate with those ridges. Don't want them to start coming off. But the rear deck and stuff looks to be in real good shape. To a non-car person, they would think this is like squeaky, totally, you couldn't ask for no better, but to the car people, they know. They know what's coming. There's some swirling on the roof. You can see in the lights. I got good feelings about that. A few rust spots here. Obviously we can't do anything about that. That's beyond the scope of paint correction. If you can feel it with your fingernail, you basically can't correct it with paint correction. But overall, this car is in really good shape. There's a lot less work to do than that S2K. Let's get started on it. We've got our Porter cable, and we're going to start with a white Hex Logic, Chemical Guys Hex Logic pad. This is like a medium polish. There's not really any cut to it because this car is looking pretty good. We're just going to work on those swirls. So as always, you just take a little quick detail and just get it a little bit damp. And then we're going to start right away. We're going to try the polish first, not going to go compound. The cool thing about auto car detailing and paint correction is you want to do the least amount as possible. The less you do means that the paint was in better condition. So you want to start with as little as you can and work your way up. So we're going to start with a very light polish and ultimate polish, no compounds, and let's work on these swirls. I've got a real small square taped off here. I just want to start right there and test and see our polish and our cutting pad before we move on to a big large section, and to just show you a major result right here, hopefully. Same as before, I like to spread the product out so you don't throw it everywhere, and turn the speed all the way down. And then turn it up. Start working it in. Let's see if we're going to get away with doing as little as polish and a light polishing pad. Alright, we're already seeing major results in the swirl department. And just like that, check that out. See the fluorescent light? Look at this. Oh yeah. This paint's in good shape. I could tell when I clayed the car. See that? And then as quick as that, it's like a mirror, guys. There's a little rock chip right there. I'm sure that's way too deep to remove. But we are going to shine up this whole car. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I love black paint. Look at it. Watch, one more time. Let me just show off. I'm just showing off a little bit. Boom. Let's do the whole car. This paint is so soft, which is good because you can very quickly correct things. But it's also dangerous in that if you don't know what you're doing, you can do too much. So that's why you always start with the least amount as possible and work your way up. I'm just going to start picking squares and doing squares about that size. It says quick detailer, but the masking tape has marked isopropyl alcohol. You can use just rubbing alcohol to completely remove stuff. Your polishes before you start to wax. Get a completely clean surface for your waxes or sealants or whatever your choice is to adhere to.
Keep me bound, I was lost, but now I'm found. Nothing can keep me bound. Hey, what is the stress? What is relief? Where is depression? Where does it sleep? Who gave all anger permission to speak and look up at love and said it was weak? I feel anxiety starting to creep. I feel my mind when unspeakable things only intact when I'm having a dream. Please not me.
I've got almost the whole hood done, but there's a panel right here that was pretty seriously scratched, and I just wanted to show off a little bit again. So this part has not been done. Check that out if we can get him in focus. And then here's where it's been done. Check that out. Glass. And not done. And right at that body panel, done. Glass. I just want to show off again. Let's go ahead and fix this panel now. I'll tell you what I'll do. If I can remember this camera angle perfectly, we'll snap to this being finished right now. Done. Did I get the angle right? Was it magic? I'm probably off a little bit. Oh well, that's awesome. Beautiful results. I switched to the next cutting size, or cutting density for this section here. It had a few little scratches I didn't like, so we got almost all of those out. Look at this glass. Let's do the rest of the car. Hey, another correct side down. That's 2 videos in a row. I should go play the lottery or something.
I was lost, now I'm found. Nothing can keep me bound. Through my burdens on the ground, through my ups and through my downs. You threw me hope to stick around. Now I feel safe, now I feel sound. I'm not the one that
I had to do it one more time. There's a tape line right there. And this one's really hard to get the camera to see for some reason, but it's super obvious here in person. This is super marred, hazy. I'm trying my best to get it on film, get it on camera here. Probably look in the viewfinder on the camera, it looks pretty clean, but in person it's pretty scratched. But you can see the tape line right there, some of it. You see that hologram right there, right above my finger? Well, that's all over here. It's really difficult to film. And then here's glass again. Might come out here and brush my teeth or something looking in the mirror. But there's the tape line. Right there. This is turning out so good. I had to do it one more time. Had to do one more tape line. Let's get back to work.
Nothing can keep me bound. I was lost, but now I'm found. Nothing can keep me bound.
I was lost, but now I'm found. Yeah. Nothing can keep me bound. No. I was lost, but now I'm found. Yeah. Nothing can keep me bound. No.
You made a way for me.
So there's a few water spots and things that are left here on the bumper around where the wrinkled paint is. So I'm just going to take and hand polish these. May not work, but I'm not comfortable putting the power tool on these wrinkles, so I'm going to come in and try to do a little surgery. No paint chips. Probably nowhere near as strong as the machine, obviously, but no sense in risking pulling up some paint. I just wanted to see if we could get rid of a few water spots and a few little scratches. Yeah, that shines up nice. We're on the driver's door and the front fender there. There's some holograms and marring. You see that? Look at all that reflectance right there. Look around the light there. There's quite a bit of it going on there. Kind of looks like a cloudy sky or something, sort of. See all those streaks and things? And right here is where I've already worked. Amazing results with this Hexlogic green pad and Meguiars polish. Look at that. From that to this. Awesome. Here's a little tip. If you get some product down into a body panel that's real tight, air compressor. I already did it before I turned the camera on, of course, but that's why it's like that. And then you just take your rag and wipe it off. And it's gone. Ta-da! Now that the paint's all done, we're going to take a little Plastic X and work on these tail lights and these rear plastic trim pieces and see what we can do. what it does to the pad. That's something a lot of people neglect, is plastic taillights and things. This was fully washed and clayed and everything, and you can see what it does. Oh yeah, check that out. It's time for some wax. I believe I'm going to go with the NXT 2.0 this time. This is a Meguiars product. I don't even know if they make this anymore. This bottle is getting a few years old now. I'm not sure, I'll have to look it up actually. But anyway, this makes the slickest finish after it's dried and you get it back off of any wax I've ever used. They have their ultimate line, which is the line that the compound and the polish comes from. And I have that wax also, but this seems to be just so much slicker. So I think I'm going to give this a shot on this really smooth black paint today.
I can't relax. All this pressure on my mind is getting hard for me to stay intact. Like, whoa, I don't know. I go far, but I'm not close. I get up, then I feel low. All this time spent trying to grow. My whole lifestyle's put in rows, and I ride too fast, but I think too slow. And I lost my mind as I've been all alone, trying to find a place where I belong. Like,
I was lost, but now I'm found. Nothing can.
The wax is drying. So I'm going to go over these wheels. He's got really nice shiny chrome wheels. I'm just going to hit them with some detailer and get them all spit shine while we're waiting on the wax. Alright, the wax has had time to dry on. I'm going to use these towels. They've got this kind of like a weave material that's really good at taking wax off, and then a really plush side to really polish it out.
dream, please not me, please. I was lost, now I'm found. Nothing can keep me bound. Threw my burdens on the ground, through my ups and through my downs. You threw me hope to stick around. Now I feel safe, now I feel sound. I'm not the one that wears the crown. My life is yours, I know that now.
I was lost, but now I'm found. Nothing can keep me bound. I was lost, but now I'm found.
The Foxbody is done. I'm gonna do a walk around of the whole thing and then start to show you some really beautiful pieces up on the hood and stuff, some reflections. Those plastic tail lights shined up really nice too with the plastic X. The paint was really soft. It took to correction really well. See if we can't get some of these angles that you saw on Josh's S2000. It's more daylight than it was for Josh's. Look at the car, look at the house. Look at that. It's a mirror. There's the RX-7 in the door. So pleased with the results. Let's look at the roof. White clouds up there in the house. Everything's upside down. It's just like looking in a mirror. Can't even tell where you're looking hardly. These headlight housings came out really good too. This was super hazed up. It didn't look anything like this. Now we got clouds up there. There's some rock chips and things that are through the paint, but what I could fix turned out really nice. Same thing on this side. This area was pretty rough. Wonder if we can get some house in there. Oh yeah, look. There's the house. Man, it's so much fun having success on black vehicles. They just turn out so good. Let's look at the driver's door. I know I showed you some hazing and some holograms and things. Oh, that's right. We did the driver's door because there's the RX-7. Guys, I really appreciate the likes and subscribes. This customer is going to be here to pick this up soon. I'll go over everything that I did with him and we'll check it all out. You think he's going fast? I think he just sounds fast in the neighborhood. He didn't want to go. He didn't want to go fast in the neighborhood. That was a pretty car, wasn't it? Did you like that race car?
Yeah.
What about you, Job? Did you like the race car?
I'm thinking this is a black Mustang.
A black Mustang?
Mustang.
What? Get out of that RX-7. Pretending it's a black Mustang. I tell you what.
I was lost, but now I'm found. Nothing can keep me bound.